X-Play, TV's most watched video game show.
Today on X-Play, Adam and Morgan have an exclusive look at new playable characters from the Wii Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Then, X-Play's got former GameSpot editorial director Jeff Gerstmann as we go head-to-head to find out if Japanese games are falling behind the times. Plus, our resident gaming expert Mr. Sark is back with a Call of Duty Gamer Challenge. Grab some cover. It's game time.
Hello and welcome to X-Play, the center of the gaming universe. I'm Adam Sessler.
And I'm Morgan Webb. We're coming to you from the G4 Studios in Los Angeles on Thursday, February 7th.
On today's show, our exclusive week-long coverage of Super Smash Bros. Brawl continues. We'll get up close and personal with some of the new fish and find out if they've got what it takes. Then in our new gamer challenge, Mr. Sark will ask players to do something unusual. Prevent someone from getting killed in Call of Duty 4. You'll find out why.
Plus, we are going to go head-to-head to see exactly why Japanese game companies are behind the times. Former GameSpot editorial director Jeff Gerstmann will join us to help sort through the repetition and lack of inspiration. And if you've got a passion for gaming but have a bank account on life support, you should probably stick around and watch Games for Cheap Bastards. But first, let's go over to Adam for all of today's top stories in our gaming update.
Thank you, Morgan. Well, Duke Nukem Forever is back in the limelight thanks to the Dallas Business Journal. They ran an article that claimed the game would be released in 2008. 3D Realms, the game's developer, later followed up with a forum post restating that the game will be released, quote, when it's done. Which, by the way, is the same quote the developer tagged to the end of the trailer you're currently watching, and it was shown at E3 in 2001. The developer's forum post also pointed out that they have not finalized any platforms. The format war between Blu-ray and HD DVD is still alive to some extent. Microsoft has finally slashed the price of the Xbox 360's HD DVD drive. The unit was originally launched with a price tag of $180 and can now be picked up for $130. This new price is effective immediately in the United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, or you could call this a Betamax clearance sale. PC owners will finally get a chance to test their historically accurate wartime parkour skills. Assassin's Creed Director's Cut Edition is scheduled for release on March 28 and will include 4 new missions that were not in the console versions. Just be sure to check the game's packaging for the minimum system requirements for the PC. The game specs were recently leaked online, and trust me, they come close to the numbers that Crysis was asking for. Atari and Gamecock Media Group have announced Legendary, a first-person shooter where gamers will battle mythical beasts in a present-day setting. The game's story revolves around Charles Deckard, an art thief who steals and then opens Pandora's box, which then unleashes hordes of said beasts. Legendary will be available for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 and PC this summer. Well, that's all for today's gaming update, but be sure to visit us on the web at g4tv.com/xplay to continue getting all of today's up-to-the-minute video game news. But now, let's go over to Morgan, who has a preview you do not want to miss.
Thanks, Adam. The Dragon Quest series is a huge franchise in Japan. In fact, whenever new titles are released, schools shut down because they know kids aren't showing up. For those of you in the U.S., get your excuses in order. I recommend Legionnaire's Disease. Dragon Quest Swords is coming out soon for the Wii, and we have a preview. Dragon Quest Swords, The Masked Queen, and the Tower of Mirrors is the role-playing series' first installment on the Wii. And as you might imagine, it's more of a spin-off than a true sequel. The game's controlled like an on-rails shooter. You can move forwards and backwards, but never really left or right unless you reach a branching path in the road. In order to attack, you just swing your Wii mode at the screen like a sword. And by holding down the A button, players can defend attacks with their shields. So, how well does it actually work? Pretty damn well. In our short time with the game, we were carving up half-human, half-warthog creatures in no time flat. The game also lets you add characters to your party, like this beautiful lady. Oh, wait, that's a guy. He's got this beautiful hair. I'm confused. You don't directly control the other players in your team, but you can set how much they attack or heal in the menu. And there's a wide variety of folks in town to interact with, like this sexy Valkyrie, this obese shopkeeper, or this frightening gamekeeper. No comment. This is definitely one of the most attractive Wii games out there. Everything is rendered in the appealing anime style of Part 8. Things just don't get any more adorable than a knight riding on top of a slime monster. We'll give you our full review when Dragon Quest Swords, the Masked Queen, and the Tower of Mirrors hits your Wii late February.
Coming up on X-Play, Mr. Sark needs some protection. Will you answer his call of duty? Then, former GameSpot editorial director Jeff Gerstmann joins us as we go head-to-head and find out why most Japanese developers seem to be making the same game over and over again. Plus, meet some of the new fighters joining the ranks in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. All this and more. Stay with us.
X-Play presents GDC 08. Come along as Adam and Morgan uncover the very latest in gaming. X-Play from the GDC starts February 18th, only on G4.
Welcome back to X-Play, TV's shoulder to cry on. And when you play Call of Duty 4, you might be adept at keeping yourself alive long enough to frag some FNGs, but how are you at keeping someone else breathing while the bullets fly? Here's Mr. Sark with this week's Gamer Challenge.
Hey X-Players, Mr. Sark here in X-Play's Game Lab. Now that my gamer tag is out there for all to know, you can probably imagine the unsavory characters that have been following me around online. Well, Tuesday, February 12th, between 9 and 11 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to be traveling through some pretty rough neighborhoods in Call of Duty 4, and I'm going to need some protection. This is where you come in. If you think you've got what it takes to be in Mr. Sark's Secret Service, send your bodyguard resumes to mrsark@g4tv.com. Make sure you include your gamer tag, where you studied to be a bodyguard, past experience bodyguarding, maybe favorite moments bodyguarding. I'll contact promising candidates, and then, on Tuesday night, I'll send out some game invites. Manage to keep me alive through a round, and you may just be a winner.
Mr. Sark, welcome back. You're definitely looking dapper today. What, someone died?
Well, me, possibly. Hopefully not. It's up to everyone out there to help me survive.
All right, so get out there, help him survive because I need him around so he can do things for us. Also, I want my suit back. All right, be sure to get your resumes in soon, and let's go back over to Morgan.
Thank you, Adam. Now, when X-Play returns, we go head-to-head to find out why Japanese games aren't upping the ante in terms of innovation or change. Former GameSpot editorial director Jeff Gerstmann will join us in studio for the discussion. But first, let's take a look at who's skilled at hunting humans and dinosaurs in today's leaderboard for Turok.
Introducing
What Hate ever be released in 2008 for the PS3?
Welcome back to X-Play. Thank you for your question, Nuno. We're going to have your answer in just a second.
All right, pulling out the Magic 8 Ball.
Oh, yeah, let's find out.
Doing the essential shakiness, because that's how you find out about the future, is by
Right.
shaking. And yeah, it looks like they're going to have to actually get back to us with the answer.
Okay, games get delayed all the time. That doesn't mean they're not going to come out. So you just got to be patient. There are other games to play in the interim.
And Ubisoft said it'll come out sometime before the early part of 2009. So it's a safe bet it'll make it inside of a year. Anyway, Hayes might be MIA for a while, so we want to know what shooters you're looking forward to in today's poll question. In 2008, do you have your sights on Resistance 2, Killzone 2, or Duke Nukem Forever? Log on to GeForceTV.com/XPlay and tell us where you stand.
As the gaming industry progresses to new heights of interactivity and innovation, it seems as if most Japanese developers have lost their way. Where's the groundbreaking spirit we've come to know and love from the land of the rising sun? Well, we're about to shed some light on the subject as we go head-to-head.
While Japanese games dominated the original PlayStation in the early stages of the PlayStation 2, they have of late improved the graphics, but with few exceptions have stubbornly held to gameplay design that is firmly rooted in the past. The games have not made any strides in innovative gameplay, feeding a content Japanese audience the same formula, as evident in Lost Odyssey and Devil May Cry 4. With innovative titles such as Assassin's Creed, BioShock, and Portal available to American audiences, will Japan's resistance to experiment be tolerated in the West? Joining us today from San Francisco, former editorial director of GameSpot.com and current blogger, Jeff Gertzman. Also joining us today from San Francisco, former editor-in-chief of ShackNews.com, gaming journalist Chris Remo. Welcome to our show, guys. Thanks so much for joining us.
Anytime.
So, Jeff, this is all because we looked at Devil May Cry 4 and Lost Odyssey this week, and while the games are visually very impressive, they seem to be mired in a lot of gameplay that feels generations old. What do you think is behind this impetus in Japan to do that?
Well, I think that, you know, these are sequels or games that are built by people that have histories in a specific genre. So they're kind of just drawing on what's worked for them in the past. And, you know, it seems like most of that is still working pretty well for most of them, but they might not be attracting new players at this point, just fans of those specific series or genres.
I think that's a very good point. And Chris, when you look at, you know, these very innovative and original games like BioShock, Assassin's Creed, and Mass Effect that have sold over 1 million copies already, I mean, are we seeing it harder for these more traditional Japanese games to really find an audience in the new marketplace?
Yeah, I think we've seen from a lot of Japanese publishers actually say the Japanese market isn't what it once was. Let's look to the Western market, both in terms of target and maybe, you know, emulation a little bit. What can we do to try to reach those players, to try to get across the pond? We've seen a lot of Japanese publishers say this for the first time. You know, not just think of the Japanese market, then the global market, but let's think of the global market first. And I think that when you talk to Japanese designers, a lot of times the games they cite as being influential are some of these Western games that we don't traditionally think of as being a big part of the Japanese market. So I think going forward, we might actually see more of that influence in Japanese titles. I mean, some like No More Heroes, for example, that was specifically said to be tailored for the Western market from the beginning.
And Jeff, obviously you became rather infamous for your review of Twilight Princess, but you made a very good point in it. It is very much the same style of game that you can expect in many of the 3D Zelda games. This seems to be a tradition for Nintendo. Obviously, it is working very well for them, but do you even see for Nintendo they may need to start innovating?
I think everyone could stand to start innovating. I mean, this is something you see in Japanese games, but it's something you kind of see across the board right now. You know, just in terms of developers being stuck in the middle. If they change too much, they risk alienating their existing fan base. If they don't change enough, they run the risk of putting out something that people are going to brand or rehash. So finding that middle ground is tricky for developers around the world, not just the ones in Japan.
Now, Chris, you brought up such a nice point about Suda 51's No More Heroes, which really is getting wonderful reception here in the States and did terribly when it went is Japan. And in addition to that, you know, he said that he's going to start developing for the 360, obviously a far more Western console out there. Do you think there are other developers that might have to go that route, or do you think that they're really going to be making, you know, Dynasty Warriors 8 billion, you know, in the next 5 years?
Right. Well, you know, it's funny you bring up the Xbox 360. In addition to going for that global market, a lot of Japanese publishers for the first time are saying we need to pursue multi-platform development. That's something we traditionally just don't see from Japanese developers. We see them working exclusively on one console. And I think along with that move to a broader market, to, you know, multiple platforms per game, I think right now we're seeing a bit of, you know, conservatism on the design side as they're trying to figure out how to mitigate that risk and deal with that new type of design pipeline. But I think on the other side of the coin, when Japanese developers do develop for a system like the Xbox 360, it's going to make them much more conscious of what they need to do to really attract the audience that is associated with that console. And you know, that when you're trying to adapt to a new situation and attract new customers, inevitably you're going to end up having to innovate or come up with new concepts.
Well, guys, thank you so much. Hopefully this will lead us to maybe Lost Odyssey 2, and it'll be real-time combat. Jeff, if you wouldn't mind staying there for 1 second, we're going to have a little chat with you. Obviously,
Sure.
You became one of the most well-known names on the internet at the end of last year with your departure from GameSpot.com. Are you in a position you might be able to enlighten us as to what may have been behind those circumstances?
Well, there's really not much that I can say about the circumstances of my departure, unfortunately.
Okay, that I completely understand. There are legal implications for everyone involved with this. But what are you doing now, and how can people sort of enjoy the wisdom of Jeff Gerstmann?
Well, right now I'm just keeping a blog. Nothing ready to announce just yet, but you can go to jeffgerstmann.net and kind of keep up with me, you know, working on a romantic comedy. No, just kind of keeping busy and keeping sharp for when I do get back in there. I'll be ready to go.
All right, well, we can't wait for it. Thanks so much for joining us today. Well, that's all the time we have. X-Play will be right back after this.
When X-Play returns, check out our exclusive preview of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. We get up close and personal with some of the new faces in this Nintendo juggernaut. Sit tight.
X-Play, one of iTunes' best podcasts of 2007.
Yeah,
It's me. We need you. Now.
I'm on it.
I'm in. Hold.
Take G4 on the road. Download this show now as a G4 podcast.
G4 is like a freaky unicorn that finds, devours, and then regurgitates all the games, virals, podcasts, and TV shows you need to hear about. There's no stickiness or acidic puke smell with the magic hurling. Everything just smells kind of plasticky. Anyhow, G4 is like that. Pretty much.
Welcome back to X-Play. It's gaming's dog and pony show. Yes, we have a pony. His name is Terry. Earlier, we asked you which shooter you're looking forward to most in 2008, and your trigger finger said Resistance 2 is #1, racking up 38% of the vote. I'm with you. But believe it or not, Duke Nukem was a close second, while Killzone 2 brings up the rear. It's sad to get beaten by Vaporware. Now, while I get Guerrilla Games a hanky, let's go over to Morgan.
The economy is crashing harder than the dreams of New England Patriots fans, and people are really tightening their belts. But this doesn't mean that you have to stop buying games. You just have to buy cheap ones.
If you're a damn low-down, dirty, shameful, dirty bastard, you probably want to get you some Stranglehold, baby. You best get out of the way. From the mind of John Woo, director of film classic Hard Target, comes Stranglehold, a sequel to his other film, Hard Boiled. Call me when there's a sequel to Wind Talkers, then we'll talk. At any rate, if you passed on this one because you thought it might be just a plain old dead-to-rightsy shoot-'em-up, now's the time to take a chance. It's down to $39.99, a perfect price to mindlessly kill people. No Chow Yun Fats were injured during the making of this game. And no ladies were injured in this hardcore, some would say softcore, competitive volleyball sim. There may be snow on the ground where you live, but a little Dead or Alive Extreme 2 should melt that ice away, if you know what I mean. Now that it's under $20, you can tell yourself it's not just eye candy, it's Olympian events to test your fortitude. Butt bumping. This guilty pleasure is a little less guilty at this price.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Hey, ever wanted to be an evil overlord? You're a gamer. Of course you have. I've controlled the minions on X-Play for years now, and now you can control your own with Overlord. And with a discounted price of $39.99, you won't feel any liberal guilt. Make those little bastards do your every whim. Why the heck not? You've earned it, being the evil despot that you are.
What the hell did you do that for?
This ain't no Pikmin ripoff either. It's got a sophisticated sense of humor. Very, European.
Ready?
And now for a special Games for Cheap Bastards bonus.
I am Beowulf.
Beowulf.
Beowulf!
Yes, Beowulf.
Beowulf!
I don't care if you like the movie. I don't care if the price is less than 20 bucks. Take it from us. Ignore it. You may be a cheap bastard. That doesn't make you a dumb bastard.
I am Beowulf!
Don't let these other games slip through your fingers. The price is too good. Take a chance, you bastards. You damn dirty, cheap bastards. There are 35 playable characters in the new Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but who are they? What are their powers? Will they like me at all? Anyway, we're going to answer all these questions as we take a look at some of these interlopers in this exclusive preview.
Link fans, take note. Newcomer Ike is your new best friend. This sword-swinging badass from the last two Fire Emblem games packs even more of a punch than everyone's favorite Hyrulean. Ike features a handy multi-hit vertical slash, plus a powerful explosion attack that can clear out crowds. But his best weapon is his side attack sword slash. This is one of the strongest moves in the game, and can KO almost anyone with ease. If you prefer technique to raw power, why not give Pikmin's protagonist Olimar a shot? The diminutive spaceman fights using his Pikmin army, plucking them from the ground and tossing them at opponents. As you can see, a handful of Pikmin can rack up the damage pretty quickly. His final smash is key, as it is extremely difficult to avoid and can damage all opponents at once.
We are spent for today, but be sure to join us tomorrow for another all-new X-Play at 8 p.m. On our next show, we're going to have exclusive hands-on impressions of Grand Theft Auto 4. Yeah, you heard me right. GTA 4. You'll find out what's in store, how much mayhem is possible, and why the wait till April will be unbearable.
Then we're going to go on location for a new look at Turning Point Fall of Liberty. The developers claim their off-the-line demo isn't the final game, and we're going to see if that's true.
And you're going to want to stick around if you want to see the world's wildest, most amazing TV around.
It's duty-free TV, G4's new nightly block of totally foreign shows, so don't change the channel. It's up next.
It's going to be great. See you tomorrow.
I think someone's going to puke on it.